Hey everyone, and welcome to the Cosplay Enthusiast for the Second Doctor from the series Doctor Who. The Second Doctor was portrayed by Patrick Troughton from the midpoint of Season 4 at the end of the 10th Planets and the start of the Power of the Daleks arc all the way to the end of Season 6, which was the War Games arc. Basically, Troughton was the first regeneration, a plot device that the showrunners were trying to use to give the series some longevity. Because unfortunately, Mr. Hartnell had to step down due to health issues. And one of the things that I really like about this bit of backstory is that Mr. Hartnell, had said, I feel like, Patrick Troughton would be like the best person to take on the role after me. And they listened to him, and that's cool. Unfortunately, Mr. Troughton also stepped down at the end of Season 6, like I said. Not due to health issues, but the issue was the fact that, the show schedule was pretty crazy. They were doing 44 episodes, for a weekly thing, throughout the year, 52 weeks in a year. It's pretty hectic. And he did this for at least 3 years. And yeah, so he stepped down and we have another doctor. But before I get to that point, I wanted to address Mr. Troughton's work, his character, etc. So, to start things off, let's talk about the costuming of Patrick Troughton. First off, he had a crazy, short, bowl cut wig, or as I like to call it, the Mo Howard haircut. In that it's basically short black hair just over his head. Now you may be saying to yourself, okay, Brad, I can easily go to Amazon or Party City and get a bowl cut wig. Joke's on you. I had to go to Party City and I had to get a, I believe, bob cut wig and then cut it to be a bowl cut. So if it doesn't look great, try it yourself. I'm not a hairstylist, and I got this. So shove it. But next up, after some research on Wikipedia, because at this point the show was still in black and white, so I didn't have a lot of color references to go on. But, according to the article, it said, basically, Mr. Troughton wore kind of a light blue shirt. It was kind of somewhere in the middle blue shirt, but I like it. And people are responding like, oh hey, I see it. So don't hate. Down I've got some brown slacks with a checker pattern on them. Again, basically that's what it was. And according to the article, he had a bow tie. You can see that. But his was like a blue polka dotted one. Whereas mine's just red and black. I got this with a vest that I had from the thrift store. Unfortunately, I think I misplaced the vest. And also, the pants and shirt were a thrift store. So, just saying, it's easy enough to find this stuff. You just gotta be a bit creative. You might have to fudge a few facts here and there. So we have that. And then we have, a few more quick accessories over here. We have suspenders. They didn't differentiate the color on these. And honestly, when I went to Walmart one day and I saw these for like $6, I was like, I like red. So I got these and I wear them. And I think it kind of works with the blue, don't you think? Like, I'll hold them up. Like, looks nice, I think. And then he had a frock coat. Unfortunately, I'm not fancy enough to know what a frock coat is, so I wear a suit coat. People say, hey, you're not wearing a frock coat. 0. So, haha. Except for the hardcore fans, they know their stuff. But, yeah. So that is the costuming of the character. Simple enough, really. But moving forward, we go into characterization. At first, with Hartnell's performance of the Doctor, he was very cold, very mean. He didn't care for people. He only cared about protecting himself and his granddaughter Susan, who he was traveling with. Throughout his time as the Doctor, he did grow and become more compassionate, worrying about his friends. And when the time came for regeneration, Troughton's character definitely picked up the compassion part. And one of the things I really loved was I felt like Troughton's Doctor was a real growth of the old Doctor in that, he was more compassionate. I feel like maybe not quite as intelligent at times, though he has other great skills. And yeah. So the character of the Doctor, he's very compassionate, very non-violent. Like, he said on multiple occasions, I will not kill another person. And not really sure how else to really talk about his character, so I'm going to tell you how the showrunners at the time saw the character. They wanted Troughton's Doctor to be kind of a cosmic hobo. Basically a drifter. He goes from place to place, has fun little adventures, and when he finds himself in trouble, he has a couple of things to rely on. His intellect, his charisma, and from time to time just a little bit of trickery. And yeah, my experience with the character, I'd say he's definitely intelligent. Hartnell played a lot of sergeants, a lot of tough guys, so he was very, like stone-faced, like, you can't flap me, as I'm going to say in a second. Whereas with Troughton, he had a poker face, really good at times, but there were also those moments of, he had some nervous tics that you could easily note at times. Basically, if you're staring down, a Dalek or a couple of Cybermen, you're like, yes. So, just saying. And yeah, so he's a smart guy, he's got some charisma, he's nice, friendly, kind, but he does have a trick or two up his sleeve. And also, he's quite observant. Like, Power of the Daleks. The very first arc he's in, God, I thought he was annoying because he kept playing around with this flute recorder. But really, there was a reason behind it. And I just thought it was cool. And so, with all of that established, let's move on to... Actually, no, you know what? There's one more section I'm going to add in here right now. I'm calling this basically just extra accessories. Because I added a few items to the costume that I want to share with you guys. First off, as I mentioned a minute ago, he loved to play, a flute slash recorder. Honestly, go to a Dollar Tree, you can find one of these very easily down, like, near where the kid stuff is. Bam, you got something to fiddle around with and have fun with. I don't know, so that's simple enough. And then the other item that I had specifically was I made my own Cybermat recreation. Basically, think like a giant metal slug. It's probably about the size of the palm of your hand. I will put the link for that video in the description, to the side, below, wherever it is. And now, with that said, I want to move on to a quick character scene as the Doctor, just to give you a bit more of a feel for how he was, or at least how I experienced him. One quick thing I want to note, though, my voice to impersonate him, it's not the best, but, what can you do? And besides, people will see the cosplay, they don't hear the voice. Just saying. So, give me one sec, everyone, and give me one sec, and I will show you my character scene. Alright, I believe I have everything set up properly. Hello, Mr. Valiant. It's me, the Doctor. I'm recording this video message for you because it would seem that I have to say goodbye now. After it would seem that I have been summoned back to Gallifrey, and I must return there. I believe the reason I've been summoned is because I am to face trial now for certain indiscretions of my past. And I'm recording this message for you because I couldn't tell you directly, because I'm sure you'd be insistent on getting involved, and as I foresee the worst, I couldn't drag you into this. So this will have to suffice. As you know, I've been a force for good, traveling across the cosmos, facing the Daleks, the Cybermen, the Ice Warriors, and dealing with so many different crises. Unfortunately, there are those who do not agree with my actions, taking the TARDIS to begin that journey. And, well, it would seem it's time for me to answer for that. And I honestly fear that this could be the end of the road for me, as you would say. And so, I just want to give you one simple message. Please continue to do good, Mr. Valiant. Carry on my work in a smaller scale, you see. I traveled across time in the TARDIS, and I saved many planets. But I realize that being good is about the grand moments. Turning back the Daleks, stopping the Ice Warriors from converting an entire planet. No, it's in the small things that we do. Defending the weak, speaking out against injustice, being a friend. I know you can do those things in my stead, so that even if the worst happens and I can no longer travel, there's at least still one force for good out there. And if I can still travel, well, perhaps the Earth can be under some good protection. So, Mr. Valiant, I believe that this is goodbye. I hope that we meet again one day. Thank you for all of your help. I'll never forget it. Bye. Well, everyone, that was the character scene for the Second Doctor, aka Patrick Troughton. Basically, just to explain the scene really quick, this was a video message from the Doctor to myself, as if I were a companion that the Doctor had worked with and he had decided to leave behind, or we had to separate. This ties into the end of the Patrick Troughton era of Doctor Who, because the Doctor went to face trial by the Council of Gallifrey, or the Council of Time Lords. I forget the official title, but anyway, that's the idea, and he didn't know what was going to happen. Originally, like in the actual story serial, the Doctor had some reservations about dealing with them because, he didn't know what was going to happen. He was very concerned, and he actually, when he returned to Gallifrey, or wherever he met the Council, he actually did try to flee with Jamie and Zoe, but they were captured, and he was forced to go through with the trial, and was ultimately exiled to Earth after regenerating. Well, exiled to Earth and regenerated at the same time. But the idea of this was, the Doctor saying, hey, do good things, because they can snowball and potentially lead to better things, and maybe the world will be a better place for it. And certainly, Doctor Who and Patrick Troughton's character specifically would want that. He was a man of peace. He was very adamant about, I'm not going to kill anyone, I'm not going to hurt people. I'm going to do good things, because he was the Doctor. And the best I can do for the character is just, slap on a wig, a coat, and try and encourage you all to do the same thing. So, with that said, this brings us to the end of the Cosplay Enthusiast for the Second Doctor. Now, if you have more of an interest in the Second Doctor, stick around with the channel. November 2018, that'll either be in the future or in the past for you, I will have well, I will have videos about the adventures of the Second Doctor. So videos about Patrick Troughton, the actor himself, Patrick Troughton, the Second Doctor's adventures, and just a bit more fun with this stuff, because I have some interesting ideas. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope if you're planning to do a cosplay of Doctor, you've at least gotten a bit more of a feel for who this character is and some of the origins of Doctor Who. And yeah, so on that note, everyone, have fun, stay safe, keep hydrated, and of course, keep cosplaying enthusiastically. I'm Valiant Bradley James, the Cosplay Enthusiast. Peace.